Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing tonight? Let's pull this up. Where is it? There we go. Yeah, so no Google Forms link tonight. If you want to submit a craft, just throw it in the chat. I've got the chat pulled up so I can see you guys and what you're posting. But yeah, I am kind of excited. Just gonna do a lower speed, kind of chill stream. Nothing too crazy. Thank you guys for joining me, and we'll give it a couple seconds for some more people to trickle in before we actually get started. In the meantime, before we start any craft reviews, wanted to share a little bit of progress I've made on the SSTO we were working on in the last stream. I've done a couple of beautification things. For instance, the wings now, they're not just the stock wings, but they're actually... Whoa. That's a funky camera view. Whoa. Okay, I don't know what the deal is with that. But anyway, sorry. We've got a little upgrade to the rings here. They have a little bit of thickness now to them. They look a lot better. Added some cosmetic parts here. We also upgraded the launch stand. So this guy will actually throw off its what do you call them, supports as it launches. It's a real cool little thing that I've got set up here. And yeah, I'm excited to hang out with you guys. Let's get this chat working first off. There we go. All right, let's while we're waiting, let's throw this guy into orbit, shall we? Lock our current heading. I want to see where I'm pointing. Gonna throttle up. Oh, hold on. What's the one thing you got to do before you launch anything in this game? Check your staging. Sure enough, my detachers are going to go off before my engine's light. That's a problem. Let's see here. There we go. Grab that. Perfect. Let's launch this bad boy. All right. In, lock, throttle up, and light those engines. Separate the supports, and they fall away nicely. Just fall to the ground like that. Beautiful. And we are off. Let's see here. I want to roll my craft over, so I'm going to go ahead and start that. Get it going here a little bit farther. Perfect. Now let's just pitch over. We'll go about 75 degrees now. And let this guy roll into orbit. We have plenty of fuel. We have, I think right now, just a test payload. Yep, just a test payload. Nothing, no real payload. It's just a fuel tank as a test weight. I think this is carrying 8,000 kilograms or 8 tons of payload into orbit. Soloth Prime, I don't know what you're doing with the counting. What are you counting down to? Alright, we are doing good. Let's go ahead and throttle down a little bit. And I think we can follow our prograde vector pretty confidently at this point. Just let that cruise up into orbit. Let's actually shift to our orbital frame of reference now. We're going to want to pitch down even more. Nice, we are looking nominal all the way through. Keep our thrust to weight ratio around 2 for this portion of the flight. And almost there. I'm just going to run time forward a little bit faster here. Okay, we are apoapsis out of the atmosphere. I'm going to go ahead and pitch down a little bit more aggressively. We want to start leveling out our flight and keep our thrust to weight ratio down. Oh, you're giving me a countdown. Well, I appreciate the countdown. You know what? I will let you give us the countdown on the next go, or we'll do one together. How about that? Okay, we are 85 kilometers apoapsis. Going to go ahead and go totally horizontal. We are just on the edge of the atmosphere at this point. And should be good to go. There we go. Going to throttle up now that we are horizontal. Let's get this bad boy into orbit. Just going to let time run forward here, and we'll kill it right about there. What I'm going to do now is just do the last little bit. We'll do a planned burn, get a little bit more accuracy out of it. I'm going to do a circularization here. And Right about there. Lock. Set to auto burn. Auto burn, and time warp ahead. Here we go. Barely see it. We're on the dark side of the planet at this point. So yeah, I had one person send me a link in advance. Actually, let me pull that up. It was a universal lander. I'm going to pull that up while we are drifting into orbit here. All right, let's time warp around. We are clear. Awesome. So here is the new and improved SSTO that we've been working on. We're going to go ahead and test its flight characteristics as it's coming back through the atmosphere. We have 402 meters per second. That should be enough to deorbit us. Deploy our payload nicely. And it shoots out of there. All right. Let's close up our hatch. Now I need to put us on a trajectory back to the planet. Let's time warp till we are right about there. I'll give it a little bit more. We'll do one more rotation. Okay, right about there. Let's pause the game. Now I've got 402 meters per second of delta V to work with here, which is more than enough to deorbit us. We only need about 200. 200 puts us there out above the Drew Space Center in the ocean. I'm actually going to bring us in a little bit closer. Maybe right there. That puts us just off the coast. This is a more shallow re-entry profile, so we're going to get a little bit more atmospheric drag, but I think that will do it. You know what? We'll quick save, as is our prerogative. And let's go ahead and let it burn. All right, so this retrograde maneuver will put us out of orbit. We are, overshot a little bit. These engines tend to be slightly inaccurate. Overshot a little bit again, but I think we can make that work. We're going to go with that and let this thing carry itself down. Going to take off the prograde tracking. Actually, no, put that back on for now because I want to track it going in. All right, we are hitting atmosphere right about now. Going to go ahead and take that off and roll around so we are belly down and try and put this thing on the space center. I want to see if I can land on the runway. I might be able to for this one. I'm not sure if I can, though. This is a bit of a tricky maneuver, and we are kind of over the horizon from the Space Center. You don't think a craft link is coming through? Well, hold on one second. It's possible. It is possible that links are being held for view. Where is it? Where is it? Top chat? Live chat? You know what, let's before I go faffing around with that, let me land this thing first, and then we will take a look at the links. If you can't submit it to me through the chat, if you want, you can submit it through the Discord chat. I'm finally back on there now. Some of you may have seen. All right, we are coming down. Yeah, we are coming down a little shallow though. So what I'm gonna do is we've got a couple of abort options here. I'm not going to be able to land at the Drew Space Center, so I'm going to try and put us down on those islands right there. I see a couple of them. So what I'm going to do, turn RCS back on. I'm going to need the extra command authority. Might not have quite enough bite at this altitude to turn us. Yeah, just barely turning us. I am making some progress, but it's not going to be enough. You know what? We're going to turn back the other way now. I'm going to see if I can't put us on the small ones there. I bet I can put us on the ones more directly ahead of us. Try turning this way. Going to adjust my heading a little bit in that direction as well. Okay, that RCS, or those RCS thrusters sound annoying after a while. We'll turn those off. I don't think I need them anymore. We're getting pretty close to the ground at this point. 10,000 meters, 10 kilometers up. Our control surfaces are, yeah, we're starting to get some performance out of our control surfaces, actually being able to turn a little bit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to level out. You know what, let's see if we can't glide this baby in. Let's see if we can't glide it to the coast. If we can't glide it to the coast, we can always ditch it in the water. It is unmanned, so there's not like there's any lives at stake here. This is just a unmanned prototype right now. But it had the one thing that it does have is, man, it's got a lot of drag. This thing really slows down in the atmosphere. These big wings really slow it down, which is good for low speed flight. Bad for a couple of other things though, like glide slope. So I'm actually thinking of maybe shortening the wings in the next iteration of this design, just to give us less drag in the wings. I'd have to. That is the wing. What's our drag force right now? 15 kilonewtons to 7 kilonewtons on the nose. So yeah, most of our drag's coming from our wings at this point. This little island is tiny. I might be able to land on it. I'm not going very fast either. Let's get a little boost in speed here. I need to adjust my roll as well. There's just not quite enough roll on this thing to be maneuverable. Let's deploy our landing gear. Couldn't make it to the Drew Space Center. I misjudged exactly how much I would decelerate coming through the atmosphere, that's hard, man. Let's be honest. Trying to figure out exactly where you're going to descend after an aero braking maneuver like that is tricky. People are saying that their crafts are not showing up in the chat. That is okay. If that's the case, what we'll do is have you guys submit them via Discord. You can either send them directly to me in a message. If I get a craft link in one of my messages, I will go ahead and take a look at them. I think one person's already sent one already. And if you don't have Discord, then you should get Discord and you should join the Simple Rockets chat. It's a super cool place where all of us hang out. Okay, here we go. Final descent. We are coming down now. I've got lots of pitch control, not a lot of roll authority, which is making maneuvering this thing hard. But here we are. I'm going to pull up now. We are 100 meters over the ground. Do not need RCS thrusters for this last bit here. Just going to try and put her down gently, 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 gently. Oop, skipped. And we're down. Brakes are up. And we're gonna hit this water. Whee! Right into a little lagoon over here. But hey, we are down safely. So yeah, this is the newest iteration of our SSTO. It is a lot better than our last one. Slightly lower cargo performance, which is a little bit of a bummer, but is okay in the grand scheme of things. But the good news is it works and it flies well. So let's set that aside for now. End flight, save and exit. No more of that. Let's take a look at your guys' craft. Okay, so I've got one link here. Let me see if there is a pop out live chat. Let me see. Is there any way that I can have you guys submit stuff to me conveniently? You know, here's what we can do. I'm gonna bring up the old craft submission form. We'll do that. I didn't want to use it. It seemed a little clunky last time, but let's do that again. I'm gonna do link, shorten the URL, copy that. Okay. Responses. I'm going to clear all the responses and repost it here in the chat. All right, if you would like to submit a craft, you can click on this link and submit a craft, and I will take a look at it. In the meantime, while you guys are taking a look at that, if you want to submit a craft, I already have one here to check out. It is the Universal Lander 1.1. Let's actually, before we take a look at that though, real quick, before we take a look at that, let's take a look at fixing the roll control surfaces because they were way underpowered on that. Give it a little bit more. Maybe that's enough. I'd have to test it. Let's overcompensate to be safe. Save craft. And let's check out the Universal Lander. This is by I'm gonna butcher this pronunciation. Staticalium 7. I'm gonna guess that's the pronunciation. So Staticalium 7 has submitted his Universal Lander, and right off the bat, yeah, it's a pretty cool looking thing. Like the look. So I'm gonna guess just by how this is laid out that the intent is for this to be like a lander core. First thing, let's check, is there a program on it? There is. Fuel, when fuel of all stages is greater than 0. So I'm going to guess this is a landing script. If activation group 5 is true, else if activation group 2 is true. Okay, so activation groups 2 and 5 control it. That's good to know. Let's take a look. Is there a command ship? Flight groups. We have chutes, landing legs, don't touch, landing leg retract, lights, heat shield, landing gear, solar panels, RCS. So don't touch and don't touch. Good to know. We won't touch those. All right. I would suggest restarting with engine mods disabled. You know what? That is a good point. Let's see. I want to pop out chat. There we go. Yeah, so I forget sometimes that I'm probably one of the few people who plays with mods. So we will exit and restart the game real quick with mods disabled. Let's go to our mods list over here. Angular Drag Killer can stay, Craft Mesh can stay, Dragon HUD can stay, but the stock engine overhaul, that needs to go for a second. We will exit. And now I have to pull up another iteration of the game. There we go. All right. Well, while we are setting that up, if anyone would like to submit a craft, go ahead. The link is in the chat. Hope you guys would take me up on my offer. I will check your crafts out and give you some feedback. Let's see. All right. Game is booting back up. Continue. That's fine. I know. We will reload the craft that he submitted. All right, can you guys see the game at this point, or is it hidden right now? Let's take a look. Yes, you can see the game. Perfect. All right, let's test this out. Let's test this out without mods. Gas generator 1, Carolox engines. Everything seems pretty straightforward here. We've got a... Is this a... Whoop. Hold on. Didn't mean to undo whatever I just did. Let's just throw it on the launch pad and see what happens. Yeah, I really like the look of it too. It is a super interesting design right off the bat. Let's see how it performs. Now I know this is a lander, but we'll go ahead, we'll launch it. Deploy the landing gear. Oh, look at that. Now that is some cool landing gear. I really like the look of that. Let's see. We want to not too much, not too much. Hold on. We're drifting away from the launch pad, and I don't want to drift away from the launch pad. Okay. Uh-oh. Well, I kind of buggered that, didn't I? Let's just relaunch that. That's not going to end well. We don't need to see how that's going to play out. We know exactly how that's going to play out. Poorly. That will play out poorly. Let's try that again. I'm going to go ahead and deploy the landing gear because I'm pretty sure spacecraft don't like resting on their nozzles. Oh, that's a little wobbly, though. Should be okay. Are these just regular blocks? Are these fuel tanks? They are fuel tanks. Are they empty? No, they've got stuff in them. What's this? What is this? Oh, that's a heat shield. Ooh, that's a heat shield. That's smart. All right. Clever design. Clever design. Let's launch off the ground. And let's just try and control our descent. Control our descent. Nice and easy. Well, it is a super interesting lander. I like it. We've got some solar panels. Let's take a look at the other activation groups here while we're at it. I'm kind of curious to see what happens when I hit don't touch, but I'm not going to do that. We've got our lights. That's good. A heat shield activation group? Oh, we've got a heat shield activation group. What does this do? Does this go all the way down? Oh, I see. Okay, so... Ah, I hit the wrong button. I hit don't touch and it screwed some stuff up. No, wait, hold on. Oh, I see how this thing... I see why. You've got to hit these in the right order. It's not just like it retracts and then it undoes. There's a very specific order things have to be hit in, or this doesn't work. That Visi code must be more complicated than I thought it was. I only looked at the top bit of it. Maybe there was more to that. Because that is... A lot's happening right there that I don't understand. Right? Mind blown. That is wild. Okay. We got landing gear. That's just the default. Don't touch. Touch. Actually, I didn't hit activation group 3. I hit 2, which is landing gear extend, and I see now the error of my ways. So let's see what happens when I hit 3. Nothing. 4. Nothing. Oh, okay. So it's not that those do anything, it's just that the Visi script uses them. Launch it from Luna and fly it to Drew. You know what? That's not too bad of an idea, except that might take a little bit, and we do have some other crafts that I wanted to take a look at. We've already got several submissions here on the forum, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go and rate this guy, and if you guys want to check it out, I'm going to post the link in the chat. I'm going to post the links to all these in the chat so you guys can check it out as well. Highly recommend you go to the Simple Rockets 2 website and give it an upvote. Hey, you know, share the love a little bit. I think that is a super interesting lander, and it deserves some love. Let's see. Craft submission form. We have another submission from CTSFO Super. My wannabe cargo moonlander might have a low delta V is the name of the craft, which is pretty wordy, if I might say. But we'll give it a look. Let's see what he's got here. I dig the custom landing legs, especially after that last video I did complaining about the in-game, like the stock custom landing legs and how awful I thought they were. So the custom landing legs really, that makes me feel good. And look at this. We've got a beautiful setup. That is a ton of rocket engines right there. Full flow stage Methalox rocket engines. That's going to have some power. We got a inlet here. Yep. That is a classic, using the inlet as a like shroud for your engines. I'm seeing, is there a cargo pod here at all, or is this just the lander here? There's like the whole thing's the lander. Before we play around with anything, want to check the program. There is no program on this. This is a fly-by-wire kind of deal. Activation groups, or not activation groups, but our stages here. Make sure. Pretty straightforward. 9 engines, interstage, 7 engines, fairing, interstage. All right, nothing too crazy here. Let's go ahead and give it a launch. Let's test this guy out. Let's fly him to the moon. All right, we are in game. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna throttle up. We're gonna go ahead and pitch over right away, and launch this bad boy. Not a lot of delta V, not as much delta V as I thought, or not delta V, not as much thrust to weight ratio right off the bat as I thought. With 9 full flow stage Methalox engines, I figured this thing would leap off the pad, but no, it's actually climbing up at a pretty conservative rate at this point, which is Fine by me. We'll go ahead and lock prograde, and we'll let this thing follow the course it wants to follow, all the way up. Put us on a orbital trajectory here. Looking good so far. Let's see. Has anyone else submitted a craft review? Let's see here. Wrong link. Yes, we have 3 now. 3 responses. Excellent. And we will get to those shortly. In the meantime, we are going to go ahead. Let's warp this forward a little bit. 24 kilometers. Let's start pitching towards here. That shiny surface, man. I love the reflections in this game. You know what? People say they like Kerbal Space Program, but there is not much prettier than that right there. We're going to throttle way down now. We are kind of pitched a little too far up. Maybe should have started my gravity turn a little earlier, so we're going to go ahead and pitch over now. Wasted a little bit of fuel, but we should be able to get the rest of the way there. With my 1-to-1 thrust-to-weight ratio. Is it a new form, or is this the old one? It is the old one. I just reset the responses. But it is the old form, so if you want to submit it, go ahead and use it. It should look pretty familiar. And if I didn't get to yours on the last stream, if there was I know there were some other submissions I didn't get to on the last stream, go ahead and resubmit it if you want me to look at it tonight, and I will see if I can get to it. Okay, let's throttle up now. We are getting out of the atmosphere. And first stage is expended. Second stage is going. And we have a massive thrust-to-weight ratio of 3. Glorious. Look at that. That is a bullet if I've ever seen one. So we are climbing pretty quickly now, and we will be in orbit in seconds at this rate. Okay, that should be enough. I'm going to wait till I'm at apoapsis to perform the rest of my orbital insertion. I want to get it pretty accurate. Want to not waste too much fuel, so we're going to perform this at apoapsis. Go ahead and burn. Yeah, loving this craft so far. It looks great. Go ahead and separate our fairing, shed some extra weight. Can you please shortly explain how to install mods like the Real Solar System mod? You know what? I actually have been thinking about redoing my installing mods video. I did one a while back, but I think they changed how they do it since then. Because it used to be you could just, like, the same way you would download a craft on a computer, you would just copy and paste the link to the mod page, and then you would just paste it in game. You would literally paste it into the game, and that was all it took. But nowadays they've changed it up a little bit and how you have to go about that. So I'm going to redo that video. Want to go a little bit more in depth on exactly how to, because it's not super intuitive. There's a specific link you have to use. You can also look up downloading SR2 mods, and there is a forum post one of the devs or one of the moderators made a while back explaining exactly what you need to do. So you can always refer to that. I actually have to use that forum post several times just to remember the path to the game files on the computer, just because I'm forgetful all the time. But here we go. We are on our way to the planet Luna with our lander. Going a little bit too fast here. Let's slow down. Right about there. A little farther. There we go. Lock it. Ready to burn. We have 2,207 meters per second of delta V left on this. It's gonna be close. This is a 1,300 meter per second burn. That's gonna be cutting it a little close for this mission. We may be able to make it work, but he did warn us that there wouldn't be a ton of delta V margin for error on this craft, so we were warned on this one. Here we go. Also use the center engine for landing on the moon. I assume you mean only the center engine. And if that is indeed what you mean, then absolutely, because that certainly does make the most sense. Where's the center engine? Oh, there's the center engine. Is it this little boy tucked in here? Is this a different stage? No, it's full flow stage. Is it just smaller than the other guys? Yeah, it's a smaller engine. Okay, so we will... Are we going to have to manually deactivate these? Or do they... He had his bases covered because those are all deactivated now. Sweet. All right, so we have our smaller stage ready to go for this. We will fly ourselves out to the moon. All right, now we are already on a collision course for the moon, and we will probably be traveling a little fast for this. So I'm going to try and put us in orbit. How much delta V do we have to work with? Ooh. Not a lot. Not a lot of delta V to work with on this mission. At the very least, we can do a lunar flyby. I don't know if we're going to have the delta V for a landing. All right, so we are off of our collision course, and we are just on a regular old intercept. Gonna swing around it. Oop. Damn it, I missed it. Well, hey, you know, that mission was fun, and we are on our way out of the Drew system. So, cool. Didn't have enough delta V to land on the moon, but we do have enough delta V to kick ourselves free of the Drew system entirely. So, goodbye, Luna. Goodbye, Drew. Goodbye, world. We are on our way out of there. But hey, I really did like the craft. I thought it was super cool looking. Let's go ahead and go over to the site page and post it as well in the chat for you guys to take a look at. Highly encourage you, again, go ahead and take a look at these crafts on your own time. Give it a like, upvote it. Really appreciate your guys willing to submit your crafts. Let's take a look at the next one, XPND Light. I have no idea what this is, and I'm very excited to find out. Let's paste it into the game. End flight, undo, and exit. And let's see what this is all about here. Oh, we've got ourselves a micro launcher. This thing is, one, gorgeous. I don't know how well it flies, but it looks awesome. I mean, this thing is really, really lovely. And the payload, 576 kilogram dummy payload, be like. All right, this is something worth taking a little deeper dive into. What is? Oh, that's the text box. Let's take a look under the hood. Let's start pulling stuff away. I like this. I like this. I like this. Is there? Are these just aesthetic parts? I'm gonna assume these are aesthetic. Yeah, that's aesthetic. Carolox fuel tanks. Nothing too crazy there. Let's put all of that back. Pretend I wasn't breaking the rocket. Let's take a look. Is there a program on this guy? Yes. And I shouldn't mess around with it. Okay. What are the basics? Are there instructions? Let's see. Wait until initiate launch, and then there's that code. Okay. Set variable version to 1.132. Full throttle to start program. Okay, so it seems like set variable target inclination to 0. Oh, here we go. Target inclination to 0. Activation group abort to 1. Target orbit height to 100,000. All right, let us take a look at this. And Haha Noel is Haja Noel. I think that's how you pronounce your name. Correct me if I'm wrong. I said, hey, that's my baby. Awesome, man. I am excited to take a look at this. Let's actually re-download it so I make sure I'm not messing with anything. But yeah, this is wonderful. Let's take a look at what engines he's running here. We've got just gas generator 1, Carolox engines. Nothing too complicated here. I love the use of rivets on the shroud here. That looks really good. So I have a little bit of texture, and then everything else is nice and sleek. Program is Kel's auto launch. That explains it. Yeah, Kelly has done a ton of work on that. It is pretty impressive. So let's go ahead and launch. 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're off. Hands free. Best kind of launch is the kind you don't have to fly. This is gorgeous. Yeah, I cannot sing its praises enough. This thing is beautiful and deserves the praise. Let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and give my upvote for this one. This is lovely. Truly lovely. Alright. We are going ahead and starting our turn. Everything's looking good there. That is good to see. Yeah, I wish I had the patience to design something as nice as this. You know, I should sit down and really put some time into making something look this nice. I've never like put a ton of work into making super nice launch vehicles because the launch vehicle is such a small part of the mission when you think about it. Like, obviously, mass and volume, the launch vehicle is the biggest part of the mission, but the actual time spent on the mission, the launch vehicle is like right there, that little bit at the beginning, and then everything else is just your payload, basically. So I've never put as much care into making beautiful launch vehicles like this, but after seeing one in person like this and getting to play around with it, you know what? I really do appreciate the amount of effort put into this. And Cal's auto burn script really makes things nice too. So we are 87, 88 seconds into the mission. Can I fast forward? Is it going to break if I fast forward? No, we're good. Okay. Just wanted to run this along a little faster. Would hate to just sit here and wait forever. We are in orbit. Excellent. Did this on mobile. If you did this on mobile, that's even more impressive. I know just how bad the mobile controls are, believe me. So to have you say you did this on mobile is really something. And you know what? I will give you some credit here. Just the creative use of there's just several things here that are very creatively done, right? So like you've got this little insulated handle. Well, I'm sure it's not technically a handle, but it kind of looks like a handle. This guy right here, as well as the caution lines. Oh, you know what? That's not a handle. I know what that is. That's a fuel line, obviously. But the little caution text there, that attention to detail is great. The shroud, or the, what would you call this? The bottom of the fuel tank here, the insulated bottom of the fuel tank looks awesome. This pulsating light is gorgeous. Love that. Just everything about this really speaks to a high level of detail, high level of effort, and I really appreciate that. You got a couple little small fuel tanks in here that are contributing to it as well. Awesome. All right, we are on our way into a polar orbit. Let's go ahead. We'll do a five times acceleration. Run this a little faster. Just trying to get this in orbit. Is this going to crash without the RCS thrusters? Can I turn that off? Kick stage gyros. So I will leave that on. I'm not going to touch anything. I'm gonna leave it alone. There are a few custom cameras. Let's take a look. We've got a kick camera here and a tiny little motor right there. We got a, what's this? Just a camera pointed at the ground. We've got a camera here pointing at the engine and the payload camera. Looking awesome. All right, we are planet aligned. Does it need a kick stage? Is the script done? Is that it? Ah, here we go. So the kick stage. Oh, look at this. There's even more to it. We have this beautiful little kick stage, which I just love the idea of it. I have not actually done much. No, do not touch RCS. Good to know. Don't touch the RCS. I love this little kick stage too. Is there any way to activate? Are these lights or nose cones? Some of them are lights. Some of them are nose cones. Looks like you've got some custom cameras here. Or no, those aren't lights. I was reading the long text. That's a gyroscope, dummy. Blah. And we have our interstage here for our payload as well. So not a ton of thrust on a kick stage. Not supposed to have a ton of thrust. Go ahead, deploy our payload, and we are in orbit. Man, this is gorgeous. Overall, love the craft. Love the work you put into it, man. You deserve a lot of praise for it. Definitely go and check his craft out for sure. Give it an upvote. It is worth it. All right, we have, let's see, we've got docking test rocket 1 re-upload. Don't know what that is, but we will check it out. Docking test 1 re-upload. Now, this right here, this style of rocket right here, boy, am I familiar with this style of rocket. Let's take a look at what he's got on here. We've got, don't know what these are supposed to be. Fuel tanks? Maybe just aesthetics. We got a couple of solar panels on here. We've got our space capsule mounted firmly at the top. We have, obviously, our launch escape system. Very important for crewed missions. or not important at all, depending on your philosophy around that. I personally do not put launch escape systems on my crafts. Let's take a look at the program. Activation group 7, throttle 1, pitch 30, wait 5 seconds, pitch 90, wait 5 seconds, set activation group 6 to true. Is there any other... Is there any documentation on it? Let's check. Let's take a look at let's take a look at this. No documentation on the launch page. Don't know if there is some sort of like RCS thing that I need to look at, or not RCS, but Visi program that I need to initiate, or if this is a fly-by wire. What's the abort do? The abort does that, obviously. One thing about the abort here. No, it activates the parachutes. Okay, never mind. I thought for a second it was literally just going to launch our space capsule off and then kill our crew. But no, it works properly. Okay, so there's some Visi to this. But I don't see anything indicative of a launch script, so we'll go ahead and launch it manually. Unless, Vincent, you're saying there's some something else I'm supposed to be looking out for here. We are off the ground. Not a huge thrust to weight ratio, but it is cruising along nicely. And we will go ahead and go towards our apoapsis as we get carried on up here. Throttle down a little bit. Okay, switch to orbit frame of reference. And we're just going to go ahead and pitch over for the rest of this. Stages away. Man, those things are spinning like crazy. Alright, we are on our way up. Let's go ahead and warp forward a little bit more. We've induced a little bit of a roll here, but other than that, we're looking good. Gonna go ahead, throttle all the way up here, and we will just follow our prograde velocity. Actually, nope, don't want to follow our prograde velocity vector all the way through, because we are reducing our time to apoapsis a little too quickly here. And we are away on the second stage, burning away quite nicely. Gonna slow time a little bit so I don't overshoot this, because we are close to our orbital velocity. And our final stage to get this guy the rest of the way into orbit. Oh, we're in orbit. All right, we are a little aggressive in our orbit too. Little far in our orbit, but you know what? That's okay. Yeah, flies well, flies nicely. Last stage away, we've got our space capsule just adrift, and our parachutes. Yeah, pretty basic rocket, but I like it. I like the principle behind it. It is a classic in rocket building. A lot of my early rockets look like that. Love it. Here is the link to it. I'm going to go ahead and give it an upvote as well. And you guys should check it out too. Give it an upvote. Let's see here. We've got what's this? TRF9 Gaming Mobile. Mobile's the one without the logos. Oh, okay, I see. So we've got two links here, and it looks to be to the same one. One for mobile, one for not mobile. We'll go with the one for not mobile. And see if it is worth its salt. We'll test it out. True Reuse Falcon 9 version 99.3 from Chaotic Graviton. Alright. Hold on. My game's slowing down for a second. There we go. Well, first thing. Did he actually put... Hold on. Did this man... Did he really color this? What? Alright. Okay, that's crazy. What? Wow. Now that, friends, is some dedication right there. These are all made out of individual pieces. Wow. Now that is artistic right there. We've even got the little double X's there, the grid fins, the landing legs, everything. Does it have a payload? Just it looks like a test payload. Awesome. All right. let's go ahead and, well, let's put that back for starters. Ooh, there is a high part count on this bad boy, though. Let's just re-download it real quick, because that's faster, honestly, than trying to undo my little pulling off the fairing nose cone there. And let's take a look at what's under the hood. Let's take a look at the Visi program. Let's see what he's got there. Is it running Kel's auto launch script? I would guess, or Chaotic Graviton made this one, and he knows his stuff. He's a pretty advanced builder. So let's see what he's got under the hood. Yeah, there is a lot to look at here. Let's see. We've got target selection, pre-launch checks. Wow. Now this is some Visi code right here. Look at all that. All right, not going to touch any of that. Don't want to break his work. Looks beautiful. And I accidentally opened Steam. I don't want to look at the Steam browser. I just want to launch it, please. Thank you. All right. Let's see what this has got. All right, activation group 9 to initiate launch procedures. Let's do as we're told. Activation group 9. Input the desired apoapsis, enter value above 100,000. I believe Chaotic Graviton actually submitted one of these in the last stream. So we'll do 150,000 meters per second. 150, not meters per second, sorry, 150,000 meters per second. 150,000 meters apoapsis, and we will let's do a 36-degree inclination north. All right. We will go with the drone ship. Craft is set up. Launch. Please target the drone ship craft. Okay. Target. Orbital parameters are a go. All right, awaiting liftoff. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are off. I'm going to run speed a little bit fast. Whoa, maybe not. This thing eats my FPS like a champ, let me tell you. Is it gorgeous? Yes. Does it perform well? Yes, but my computer is not performing well, let me tell you. I'm getting pretty low frame rates here at this point. Yep, all logos are hand-made by me and Chaotic. Man, that is super impressive. That is super impressive. I am all for, that level of work and that level of dedication. But damn, son, I'm getting less than like 10 frames per second if I run that forward. So we're gonna have to fly this a little slow. Little slow this time. Great job, mate. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Actually, let me go ahead and share the link with everyone here. Give you guys a chance to take a look at it. Let's see, where are we? There we are. I would highly recommend you all go ahead and... the upvotes are disabled for this post. You know what? Hold on. 1 second, real quick. I'm going to remove this. Yep, I'm going to remove that. Because I realized that this is an unlisted craft. Probably unlisted for a reason. Should have checked that earlier. We're not going to post this one. I think they are waiting to release it, so I'm going to actually retract that for a second. But when they do release it, when they do share this with everyone, check it out. Because it is stinking freaking awesome. And stage sept, our upper stage is off and our booster stage is down. Quickest post removal in my life. Yeah, I posted the link, tabbed over to the Chrome, saw it was unlisted, realized what I was doing, went back and took down my comment there because I realized that it is not for the public viewing quite yet. This is just a preview. We do have one more to take a look at next after this one, but we're going to go ahead and let this run its course. And as soon as this has run its course, we will go ahead and pull up our next craft submission to take a look at. So you can see here at the top of the screen, boost back altitude 91.5 kilometers, lateral distance to target. Oh, here we go. We are already switching crafts. And I am, to be clear, I am not doing any of this. This is all programmed into the system, which is amazing in my opinion. So we're starting our orbital insertion burn here. Looking good so far. Everything is nominal for sure. All right. And I like this design too. So this is actually similar to the one that, oh, what was the name of the craft? The XPND Lite that we saw. It was the second one we reviewed. This has got a similar design to it here with the use of a nose cone. I need to start incorporating that into my designs as well. I really like the look of the nose cone. I think it gives like a nice rounded base to your rocket. And I don't know why I don't use it myself. I'm going to start doing that. The next rocket I design is going to use this because it looks so good. All right, we are, let's see. Delta V for parking orbit, 700 meters per second and dropping. We'll time warp just a little bit here. Slow down. 100 meters per second. Here we go. 50, 40, 20, 10. Boom. And it immediately switches craft as soon as it's hit its Delta V mark. We're going to go ahead and watch the boost back here. Shaky Camco says he's working on Space Shuttle right now. That's awesome, dude. Hey, probably not going to get it in on this stream because I'm going to be heading out here in a couple of minutes anyway. But definitely submit it with the link that I submitted earlier. I'm actually going to, well, I'm going to post that link again because I definitely want you guys to continue sharing your crafts with me, and I would love to check them out. So let me post that again. And if anyone else would like to share their crafts, probably won't be able to get to any more tonight, but I would love to get to them in the future, and you guys would be awesome to submit your crafts so I can take a look and share them with everyone else. Here we go. We're coming up on our boost pack. Our grid fins have deployed. Everything is looking nominal so far. Now, we should be coming right down on... Nope. Coming right down on the ocean here. Because there's nothing in the ocean there. So, yeah, I realize now that I should probably have put something there for it to land on. Yeah, you can only use the ones in green. Yep. I figured that out, but it's okay. You know, we'll watch it ditch in the water. It's all good. Fine to watch a failed abort can be just as fun as, or a failed landing can be just as fun to watch as a successful landing sometimes. So you know what I really love about this design is the full attention to detail here with the strut and the camera. I didn't even use these cameras. So we have our boost back cameras here. We've got this one here sticking out the sides. And we are going to hit the water pretty fast. Yep, pretty fast. Here we go. And we're in the water. Yep, things are breaking. Things should be breaking a lot faster, actually, because we hit the water really freaking fast. But hey, you know what? It's a submarine now, and I'm a fan of submarines. So, hey, that was an awesome build. Chaotic Graviton, know you. Good job with the work you guys are doing. I can't wait for you guys to share that with the rest of the community. Let's go to our last one here. My dumb Starship. Use it for old map, not the new one. Ooh. Gray Starship Fizzy used for classic map. Okay, we're going to try it not on the classic map because I am bad at following instructions. Could not find valid link. Hold on. Copy. Okay. Paste. There we go. Now it likes it. My dumb gray starship. Hey, so what do we have here? We've got a starship Everything is in the right place. We've got 3 engines. They're in the right place. We've got grid fins. They're in the right place. Do we have a program? Yeah, we've got a program. Welcome to today's flight. We got a little dialogue here. I will save that. Let's change our launch location. I think the large launch pad should work because the large launch pad is basically derived from the old game or the old DSC. So we will launch from the large launch pad, large platform. Go ahead and lift off here. Is there going to be a little bit of text associated with this? There we go. We have liftoff in a couple of seconds, waiting for mission control. FTS active. We've just turned FTS is active. Mission is to go. Oh, and we are off the ground already. That was quick. All right, so we are off the ground, flying away beautifully so far. We'll go ahead and speed up time just a smidge. Just a smidge. Engine shut down. So we are down to 1 engine. Everything is looking beautifully so far. Engine 3 shut down. We are in our glide mode. Oh, 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 oh. Hold on, we got to roll over so we're belly first. There we go, belly first properly. Grid fins are all the way up in the vertical position. Maybe want to extend those a little bit, maybe. It's okay, looking good so far. Is it going to land itself? That is the question. Ooh, landing legs deploy. Landing legs are down. It's wobbling, it's wobbling, it's wobbling, it's wobbling. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. We are back in flight. Well, you know what? You have you have about as good of a success record with this one flight as SpaceX does with their actual Starships. So there's nothing to be ashamed of there, with a little bit of rapidly unscheduled disassembly. And for good measure, we'll blow up the rest of it, because it wouldn't be a SpaceX flight if the whole thing didn't explode spectacularly once it touched the ground. All right, guys. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Really appreciate it. If you saw my post earlier today, was it today or yesterday? I think it was yesterday. We were very close to the limit for monetizing the channel, but today we actually crossed that threshold. We have over 4,000 watch hours in the past year and over 1,000 subscribers, which are the 2 big criteria for getting monetized on YouTube. So thank you guys so much for the support. I have honestly really enjoyed making videos here, and I'm glad that someone else enjoys watching them, because I make them just for fun. I don't make them for the views. I don't make them for you guys. I make them for me. And the fact that you guys like what I do is just so encouraging to me. So thank you guys so much. And hey, I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Stay safe. Take care. Keep being creative. Keep designing stuff. Keep pushing the envelope. And I will see you guys in the next video I put out, which will actually be soon, hopefully. I plan on putting one out this weekend. So more to follow on that. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your night and have fun. Stay safe out there.